In this video, we'll be going over copy list with random pointers. So a linked list of length n is given such that each node contains an additional random pointer, which will point to any node in the list or no. So construct a deep copy of the list. The deep copy should consist of exactly n brand new nodes, where each new node has its value set to the node of its corresponding original node. So let's go over a simple example here. So we're given this list where each of the node is giving a next and also a random. So we need to clone each of the nodes and then output the same list, but we output the clone of the input list. Let's go over the thought process. So for each of the node x, we will want to create a clone of x. Then before connecting clone.next to x.next, we will first want to clone x.next first before connecting. Then before, we don't need this. Then before connecting clone.random with x.random, we will first want to clone x.random. A side case we have to handle is when accessing x.random, it may be a node that we have already cloned before, because there may be loops inside the list. We will need a way to keep track of previously cloned nodes. We can create a hash map to keep track of node and also its clone. Then before cloning any node x, we will first check if x already exists in the map or not. Now let's go over a pseudocode. So we'll be implementing a recursive approach. And then what parameters do we need? We'll first need node, the current node we are cloning. And then we have our map, and we as a hash map to keep track of previously cloned nodes. And then what's the base case? If node is null, this means we cannot clone it. We can just return null. Then if map contains node, this means we have already cloned the node already, so we can just return the clone node. So just map.get node. Then in each of the recursive call, we're going to create a clone for a node using the value of node, using the value node.val. Then we're going to put node and clone into the map to save it. And then we're going to first recursively clone x.next, which we will call x, we can call it x. Recursive clone node.next, which we call x. And we can set clone.next to x. First recursively clone it, so node turns to node.next. And then we're going to set clone.next to x. And then we're going to recursively clone node.random, which we can call y. Then node turns to node.random. And then we're going to set clone.random to y, is the clone value of node.random. Then we can return the clone. Now let's go over the time and space complexity. For the time complexity is O of n, where n is the number of nodes in the input list. So O of n is visit each node once. And then our space complexity is O of n plus O of n, which is equal to O of n. This is our recursive call stack memory, and also our hash map. Now let's go over the code. So we're going to implement our recursive approach to copy the input list, passing the head and also a new hash map to keep track of previously cloned nodes. And then we'll create our helper method. We'll first go over our base case. If the current node is null, this means we cannot clone it. We can just return null. If map contains the current node, this means we have already cloned the node before, so we can just return map.getNode. Now we want to create a clone of the current node using the same value. Now we want to put it into our map, put node and clone into our map to save it. And then before we connect clone.next with node.next, we want to clone node.next first. So we can clone node.next and also pass in the map. And then before we connect clone.random, we want to clone node.random too. So we got node.random and then map, and then we can return the clone. Let me know if any questions in the comment section below.